Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
That's what I tell them. I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. Hot or cold, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles. Compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles. Go take care of your business. Success Chronicles. It's deeper than just winning. Success Chronicles.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with another episode of the Success Chronicles. And today we have my guy, Jamaine Gaines, with us today, Coach Jay Gaines.
Yeah.
And today we're going to talk about the pursuit of greatness on our topic today. And so what you feeling on that this morning?
Man, most people have a desire for greatness, but would never make the commitment to greatness. And before you ever become great, you're going to make a commitment to greatness. And it's who you become along the way. Like, if you want to obtain something and never become the person that can maintain it, then what is it really going to be worth if you're going to lose it? Right. So you get stronger along the way. When you have your valley moments, you find out how to deal with those valley moments, how to climb from the mud. When you're having your peak moments, you learn how to still stay humble enough to actually continue to grind, continue to push, learn to continue to stay hungry. Because a lot of the people, they start seeing a little bit of results. I started a detox last week, right? So I'm doing a 30-day detox. And my end goal is to lose 70 pounds, right? So what I cut out of my diet was white bread. I cut out cookies. I cut out ice cream. I cut out fast food. I cut out fries. I cut out a lot of stuff. Let's just go with that, right? So I cut out a lot of stuff. And this past week, I haven't even implemented cardio yet, but then this last week, I lost 7.5 pounds. And people are seeing me, bro, you losing weight, you losing weight. And it feels good for somebody to say you're losing weight, but that's what stunts a lot of people's greatness is progress. Like, you can allow progress, not even just good, but you can allow your progress to actually stunt your greatness. You can allow progress to actually stunt you from getting to your goals and your dreams, because the moment somebody say, oh man, you look good, you're like, well, I ain't got to lose no more weight, right? Because people see me doing good, right? But that's not your goal. That's not your end goal where you want to get to. So it's a really interesting dynamic, because greatness is different for every person.
Yeah,
You know?
I agree with that. Yeah, every person has their own perspective. And, just like you said, it's that mindset of having that goal and getting to that goal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because if me and you went in a gym right now and we're shooting a basketball, if you shoot the ball and you normally make 7 out of 10, greatness for you is not hitting 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
Under no circumstances. It ain't even hitting 7, because 7 for you is average.
Yeah.
But greatness for you is getting to 8 or 9 out of 10. For me, if I go in the gym and I'm shooting 2 out of 10, well, I can get to 4 or 5 out of 10 and feel good, because I've accomplished something that I don't normally accomplish. That's not normal to me. That's greatness for me. And then once I get to 4 or 5 out of 10 on a regular basis, now it's trying to get to 5 and 6 and 7, etc. But that's the thing about greatness, because it's internal. Like, I honestly believe that that's the reason why Kevin Durant had to leave Golden State, because in his mind, and we're not talking about right or wrong, but the integrity in your heart, his basketball integrity, he knows to himself he did not take the course that would actually feed him the success that he really was supposed to feel. He know he didn't pull it up from the mud. He know he was like, that's my easy chance. Let me go hop on that team. And I don't have a problem with him joining the team in itself, because for every person, that integrity is different. For him being one of the top 3 players on the planet, that's the part that actually hurts his personal integrity, because he knows that he didn't go the route that it would take for him to be accomplished about the championship that he got. And it's probably the same reason why LeBron felt so much greater when he got the ring in Cleveland than the one he got in Miami. Let's just call it what it is. Like, it's a totally different feeling, because he went the route that it really took in order to grow into the player that it would take in order to like really get the W that counts them something.
Man, it's something to be said for that personal growth.
Yeah.
You know, when you feel like you're in a situation to where you're making personal growth
Yeah.
and you see it, man, I think it gives you a sense of pride.
Absolutely.
I think, and it goes back to the fact of, without a shadow of a doubt, like as you said that about LeBron.
Yeah.
I just pictured him like when they finally won the game, just the look and the emotions and the, like, like yeah, I just picture the emotions and everything, involved because he knows all that it took to get there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think when we can take that in our personal lives, I think, anytime we put ourselves in a situation, well, let me take a step back. I think it's all about the mindset.
Yeah.
And I think when we can have a growth mindset, and we know we put ourselves in situations to where we're stretching ourselves, we're pushing ourselves, and then we have growth, man, it's a great thing.
Man, and you're right about that as far as it hitting every different aspect of your life. Because if you're talking about fitness, cool. The moment that you're putting in the work and then you can start seeing the results, you're like, man, especially when you get to your goal, you're like, man, this feels good to know that I put the work in. I made the sacrifices. I implemented the disciplines. I did what it took in order to get to my goal. But I believe that that's true in the growth process, that in your faith. I know that for a fact that when you get to the point where you learn how to trust God and you start seeing the results and being obedient to God, you're like, so why did I take this long to start trusting him? I don't even understand. If you're talking about it on your job and you can tell somebody, man, just put the work in, come to work, give your best every single day. And you're like, yeah, but there's nowhere to move up in the company. It ain't really worth that. But the moment you make the commitment for your personal growth and you start honoring the position that you're in, and then a door opens that you were never expecting to open. It might not even be with the same company. It's just that you made the conscious decision to really grow. Somebody else recognizes it and they say, man, I'm actually starting my own company, or my dad has a company. We want you to come be the receptionist because you're doing so good right here at 7-Eleven. And you're like, what? And we're going to pay you 3 times what you're making right now at 7-Eleven. And you're like, there was nowhere to move up in the company, but it had nothing to do with the company as much as it had to do with your personal growth and who you become along the way. So, no, I definitely agree, especially even with parenting. When you make the decision to become better yourself, you'll find your children growing. Like my daughter, I was in this last week, my mom made a statement. She was like, hey, Jamaine, you're looking kind of skinny. My daughter, she's 9 years old. She's talking about, Daddy, show me how to get skinny. I was like, because it's just something about the elevation and the growth that people see, and it's contagious. And you will either challenge somebody, encourage somebody, or offend somebody by you choosing to pursue your greatness. They're either going to be offended because you're doing more than what they're doing, and now they got to be held accountable for not actually stepping up to the next level. They're going to be encouraged because they know that more is available, or they're going to be challenged because they know that they're not doing everything that they can. And if you just focus on your personal growth and your personal pursuit of it, and then the other thing is putting out small meter markers along the way. Because what I found out is if I was to right now and try to grab a whole pound steak and try to eat it at one time, I'd choke. That's the truth. But if I chopped it up in pieces, I remember I went to go speak at Oklahoma State University, and what I told the guys, I said, man, listen, some of y'all dreams are too big. They was like, hold on, wait, you're a motivational speaker. Like, you can't say that. Like, my dreams are my dreams. I said, no, your dreams are too big. You're trying to consume your dreams all at one time versus actually chopping it up in pieces, and now you can consume it. Now you can actually, if I try to swallow a whole steak at one time, I'll never eat steak again. The moment that I throw up, I'm like, this is just too hard. It's too much to consume. And the truth is, it is too much to consume. But if I focus on winning each possession, which is each day, if I focus on winning each quarter, which is each week or each month, if I focus on, or each quarter for the year, if I focus on winning each half, which is, if I focus on winning each game, then I can look up and I can have a winning season. Well, now I get into the playoffs. When the moment that you get into the postseason and you get a chance to actually taste any bit of success, and now it's time to play for the real big coins. Now it's time to play for that chip. Get it? No pun intended. The chip.
I like it.
Then you get into the space where everything you do, it counts, but you were prepared during the season. David didn't just wake up and fight Goliath. He killed a lion and a bear with his bare hands. And so it was the pursuit and the growth that it took, that once he got on the stage where the real money was on the table, he was prepared to play at that level. And a lot of the time, we don't want to go through the preparation season. We don't want to go through the valley season. We don't want to go through the prison season like Joseph. We don't want to go through that season of waiting like Abraham. We don't want to go through that season. And so because we never go through that season, when it's time and the money is on the table, that's literally what they say. And I know I talk a lot about sports, but that's literally what they say when they talk about young teams getting to the postseason. When young teams get to the playoffs, they're like, oh, that team is young. Listen, they got a lot of talent, but they ain't ready yet because they still young. Mm-hmm. And it's the experience that you gain. You go through some losses, you go through some defeats, you go through some beatings, you go through some pressure, you go through some crushing, you go through some punches, some blows, and you get knocked down and you get back up. And what you learn along that way is that punch didn't kill me. That crush made me get stronger. That crush made me get wiser. That crush made me be more resourceful. That made me get back in the lab and start working on my technique. That made me begin to develop and work on how I present past the no. Because any salesman will tell you that you're gonna take 5 or 6 no's before you get to that one yes, but that one yes is worth all those 5 or 6 no's. But that first no might crush you when you first get started. So you got to go through those no's. You got to go through that crushing in order to get to the point where you're able to operate and people look at you and say, man, he's so skilled. He does it effortlessly. You're like, bro, you have no clue.
Yeah. Hey, thank God I don't look like what I've been through.
Man, listen. That is so true. That is so true. Because if a lot of people knew our story, man, listen, they would be like, there's no way that you're where you are if they knew your story. So
ain't no way you're supposed to be here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I thank God every day that he didn't punish me for the stuff that I've done and he didn't kill me for some of the stuff that I've been through. Because I know that every day that you wake up is an opportunity to be the best version of who you can be today. Like that's pretty much in a nutshell. I always tell people that time is your land. If you still have breath in your lungs, time is your land. Because it's really easy to look up and be like, man, I wanted to be a musician when I was 18, but now I'm 30. That option ain't even available anymore. Says who? Time is your land. As long as there's still breath in your lungs, there's still room to grow and to manifest your greatness, whatever your greatness may be. If you decide, okay, well, I'm not trying to go to the NBA anymore. Okay, what are you going to do to manifest your greatness? What are you going to do to maximize your moment? And your moment is that dash between your birth date and your expiration date. So what are you going to do to maximize your moment here on this earth to make your mark? And if you're going to make your mark, then you're going to have to make your move. Because, listen, time is over for like all the waiting and the sitting back on the wayside. And I know that sometimes it's scary. I know that sometimes it's frustrating when you've taken a lot of L's. But I'm telling you, if you keep on pressing, if you keep on pushing, if you keep on grinding, if you keep on praying, if you keep on just being diligent, I'm telling you, the levees will break. They will break eventually. I know you know the story about, like, I guess the water on a pebble or the water on a rock. Like, I can pick up, and that's what most people do in their pursuit, right? So still the concept of breaking it down, they take a whole ocean and you drop a whole, we ain't talking about a lake, we ain't talking about a river, you take a whole ocean and you just drop it on a rock at one time and that rock just shakes it off like, yo, you thought I was going to crack? Nah, It's going to take more than that. And you get more systematic and you start taking just one drop. Over the course of time, that rock will eventually crack from the consistency. And it's the exact same thing with whatever your greatness is that you discover along the way. Like listen, I think about like there are one of the things that I thank God for is the information that He's allowed me to obtain out of His Word and how it actually applies to real life or how it applies to the modern day world. There are certain scriptures that are or certain words that are repeated multiple times in the Word, right? Multiple times over and over and over and over again. And you would ask yourself, why do they keep talking about that? Because somebody is still struggling with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Man.
So at the end of the day, the fact that I'm keep saying, listen, I'm not saying that it's going to be easy. And I hope that whoever is watching this, the moment that it gets uneasy, you remember watching this and say, man, he told me over and over and over again, it wasn't going to be easy, but it was going to be worth it. And at the end of the day, that's what it looks like. That's why I say I choose greatness today, because today is what I have in front of me. I mean, I might have slipped up, I might have failed, I might have stumbled, I might have shot 5 air balls yesterday. But today, I got a whole new chance to choose greatness. Tomorrow, it ain't here yet, so I can't stress on that. I got the today that's in front of me, and I'm going to eat today. I'm going to crush today. I'm going to dominate today, because that's what I got as available to me right now. So, man, the pursuit of greatness, man, it's a journey, but it's so well worth it from what you learn along the way.
Man, no doubt. And I got one word after that, man. Woo! Hey, man, that's some good stuff, man. That's good stuff, and totally agree with it. And so, again, I appreciate you taking the time to come through. Man, we're gonna have to change it from a topic session to this heat session.
Yeah, I mean,
thanks for
absolutely, man. I'm working on some courses. I'm actually gonna start putting out some online courses, just on different topics that the steps that it takes in order to break through. Like I got a sales training that I'm working on for people that are in sales. But here's a cool thing: the people that the sales training that I'm working on will help you in your day-to-day relationships. So it's not even just about my job is in sales. If you're married, you need to get this sales training. If you're a parent, you need to get this sales training, because even when you're parenting your children, there are certain things on how the human brain works, on how to unlock whatever it is that you need to get the person to do, and not from a manipulation or a negative standpoint, but from a standpoint of being more efficient on how you communicate. I'm working on a foundation course, because a lot of the time people, they want to get started, but they don't know how to actually build a solid foundation and what that really looks like. Because a lot of time people say, oh, work on your foundation. And you're like, what does that even mean? So I'm working on a foundation course. I'm also working on a course for somebody to get from point A to point B, and what it looks like to actually get from point A to point B to get to where they're trying to get to. So I got some courses that I'm working on. So definitely be on the lookout for that, because it's definitely going to bring something to the table that's going to change the game.
Well, man, again, thank you. Guys, go check him out. Thanks for checking out this episode. We'll see you next time. God bless.
Yeah, man.
Go get it.